Hello everyone, Gold Ghost here, and welcome to Let's Play Pikmin. And yes, there has been a name change. I'll get a bit more into that in a few, but first we will experience the introduction to our second Let's Play. And yes, as you can see, this is the Wii version of the game, which, for a couple reasons that I'll explain as they become relevant, I do consider to be the definitive version of this game. New file. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Oh my gosh, this is not going our way at all. We are now falling and we cannot get up. But conveniently, there happens to be a planet here, which, I mean, I suppose if there wasn't a planet, we wouldn't really be falling down, because down doesn't exist in space, since direction is relative. The impact site. Yes, we go from exploring a haunted mansion to exploring an alien planet. Quite a nice transition there from ghosts to aliens. Both are cool and fun. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have actually. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do for this Let's Play? I'm going to do. I'm going to give Olimar my best impression of Zap Brannigan from Futurama, and I'm going to read all of his dialogue that way for the entire Let's Play. So let's go. Uh, my name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. I don't know if I should do this actually. My impressions are not very good. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no. Better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. Yes. That is our plan, to find the missing ship parts. Like all great plans, my idea is so simple an idiot could have devised it. Oh look, I stumbled upon this completely by accident. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion too. No, I'm not. I'm not doing this. I apologize. Fuck it. Olimar just gets my regular voice from now on. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Extraordinary. When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it with A, then throw it in the direction I point, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C, and pressing down on the control pad while pointing as well. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints. Z, rotate camera behind Olimar. Control pad left and right, zoom. Control pad up, change perspective. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. Yes, I will now alter the camera. No, okay, this is a good point. What? Oh, okay. Anyway, one of the main reasons, probably the primary reason I consider the Wii version to be the definitive version is that in the GameCube version, this cursor here was always a set, it was like like a set distance in front of Olimar. So whenever you wanted to throw a Pikmin, you had to line yourself up perfectly, whereas on the Wii version, you can just... Hello? What does this Pikmin think of me? I must observe its reactions. The more things I try, the more reactions I can catalog. I shall attempt to grab and throw it with A and call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C and pressing down on the control pad while pointing as well. Okay, apparently I'm supposed to actually go up to this. I've never seen that dialogue before. But anyway, with the cursor now, you can just use the sensor and throw it much more precisely, just wherever you want to throw it. So yeah, throw it at this. The flower is called a pellet posy. And it has a 1 on it, which means that it requires 1 Pikmin to carry. And also, when we put it in there, we get 2 extra Pikmin. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study the strange life form more. And now would probably be a good time to talk about my why I changed my username. And the main reason for that is that Gold Ghost was the first name, like it was the name I wanted, but like I felt obliged to pick something a bit, I felt it was too derivative, so I felt obliged to pick something a bit more original, which is, why I switched from Gold to Emerald. But, everyone talks about, you hear people talk about constantly, society's pressure to conform, which is definitely prevalent, unfortunately, but you don't really hear a whole lot of talk about the opposite type of pressure, which also definitely exists, which is, the pressure to stand out and be different, and just, be not like everyone else, and that is the social pressure that I succumbed to when I went with Emerald Ghost instead of Gold Ghost. Because I do like the name Gold Ghost more, but I felt I needed to be a bit more unique. But eventually, after my first Let's Play, I just decided, fuck it, it's just, I'll just go with the name I want. It's even if it is a bit less unique, it's just more me. It feels better. Like it's a name I'm more comfortable with. Anyway, excuse me. And also, I can turn the name into something unique. Like, I can give the name a unique connotation as far as it's associated with me. So, I just went with a name that I want, that I'm comfortable with, that I like more. So that's the name I'm sticking with. Anyway, this game does have like a lot of exploration. Like, there's a lot of different things to explore and to do, which I very much like. And I'm saying, every sentence. I apologize, but there's a lot of exploration in this game, so I am happy with that. As far as the Bartle taxonomy of player types go, I am very much first and foremost an explorer. Oh, here we go. Red. And this one takes 5 Pikmin to lift, and this one will only give us 5 Pikmin, this one will give us 2. There is a bit of a reason for that. I'll explain that later. And right now we're just waiting for them, because apparently Olimar is he's too much of a priss to actually get his hands dirty and do some of the heavy lifting himself. He has to command. He is, honestly, he is like Zap Brannigan in that way. Everyone else has to get their hands dirty. He's much too good for that. Let's see. Anyway, now that we have a good number of Pikmin, we can... Excuse me, where is it? We can go over to this box with a 10 on it, which indicates that it requires 10 Pikmin to push. And I do wonder, like, what the in-game explanation is for that box having a 10 on it, because I very much doubt that the manufacturers of this box thought, ah, yes, we must put a 10 on the side to indicate that someday it will require 10 Pikmin to push this box. So, I'm curious what the in-game explanation is for that, but obviously the 10 is there, design-wise it was put there so that we know how many Pikmin we need. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin, release to throw. Press B to call them, C to dismiss. Press down on the control pad and point to command and control the group. Use Z and up and left and right on the control pad to control perspective. I shall record this in my computer and access it with plus. Yeah, we can get a bunch more Pikmin up here, which is nice. And you did see something over there that is the first part of Captain Olimar's missing ship. And we can put you guys on here to carry it faster. So 10 will carry it twice as fast as 5, and you can go here because 2 will carry it twice as fast as 1. And now we, again, just wait for them to go. You can get a max of 21 Pikmin in day 1. And after today, days will start being timed. So there is a time limit on this game, which makes it a bit fun, or a bit more challenging. There's a lot more pressure than there would be normally. When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once repeatedly, or all done at once by repeatedly tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. And yeah, to explain the numbers on the bottom, from left to right, this number indicates the number of Pikmin under your control. Like, currently, this number indicates the number of Pikmin in the field. As you can see, there are 9 Pikmin buried in the ground right now, which means that they're in the field, but they're not under my control. And this is the number of Pikmin total. Oh wait, I was wrong when I said that the max you can get is 21. Okay, well, what actually happened is I wasn't going to bother saying this because I didn't think it was relevant because I thought I'd got the max amount of Pikmin. This is actually a retake of day 1 because my first recording messed up, similar to how my one episode of Luigi's Mansion did. So I've actually already recorded days 2 and 3. So this is my second take after recording days 2 and 3 once I realized my first recording messed up. So, starting in episode 2, I only have 21 Pikmin because I missed some on my first attempt. So, 4 of these Pikmin will disappear in the next episode. Anyway. Amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin? How indeed. But luckily the Pikmin seem very, very willing to help us out, so... Hello. Thank you. Now we will go back to our ship and wait for them to deliver it to us. And I am going to be doing 1 day per episode. So the episode, once we get this ship part here, day 1 will end, and thus so will episode 1 of Let's Play Pikmin. Come on. I'm doing rings around you guys. I don't understand. I think it'd be neat if you could, like, add your... Dolphin's main engine. It was pure luck that I found this piece first. With this I can at least lift off. If you could, like, add yourself as a number. Or even 2, that would be even cooler. Like, Olimar is bigger than the Pikmin, so he's twice as strong. And, like, you can carry stuff back yourself. But, you know, you wouldn't be able to control it. It would just move automatically like the Pikmin do, as long as you're carrying things, but you would add 2 to the total number of carriers. I think that'd be neat. But alas, Olimar does not do any heavy lifting. He can jump like that, so clearly he's athletic enough. I mean, he's doing all this walking. Oh, glorious. With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly, but what is oh, fuck. I accidentally skipped. What has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow, I believe is what he said. And thus the first day of our adventure has come to an end, but we have a long way to go still. As long as you can average 1 part per day, you're golden. Like that's your quota is 1 part per day, because you get 30 days and there are 30 parts. 1 day since impact. I have somehow managed to launch the I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hockatate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below. As it holds the key to my survival, I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. And you get a nice data chart of your Pikmin population. We currently have 25 total. We sprouted 25 today, lost 0 in battle because there are no enemies in day 1, and left 0 behind because I don't think you can leave any behind unless you like left 5, you know, and only carry the ship part with 20. I don't know, but I don't think you can. And we will now save. And with that, we will see the world map for the first time. It is a really nice map. And this is the impact site. As you can see, there are 2 ship parts here, and we've only gotten 1, which means we will be returning here just once. And the Forest of Hope contains 8 ship parts, so we'll be spending a few days there before moving on. And so, but that will start tomorrow, or today rather, because we're in day 2 already, but then in the next episode. And so, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time. Ciao!